Hello and welcome to InvestorToday.ca. I'm your host, Dave Glover. InvestorToday.ca is brought to you in conjunction with RBL Communications, your online IR professionals. We're coming to you live from the Toronto Resource Investment Conference. It's Thursday, the 27th of September, and I'm joined by Tommy Humphreys. A lot of the viewers may know Tommy Humphreys from his own website and from the number of interviews that he's done, but it's rare that anyone has ever had an opportunity to pigeonhole Tommy and actually get him here in the interview chair. So, Tommy, great to see you.
How's it going?
Now, you are one busy cat here. Now, you're
No, not so busy.
What's your regular gig with Cambridge House?
I guess I'm like the web promoter. So like I do write the newsletter and run the Twitter, and do interviews, make content, write the TV commercials, and then I just come here and schmooze and host and make sure everybody's having a good time.
That's it. Well, the Toronto Resource Investment Conference, for those of you that haven't had the opportunity to come down here, and it is a two-day event. This is one of many events that Cambridge House hosts across North America.
Yeah, we're in Palm Springs, we're in Spokane, we're in Calgary, we're in Vancouver twice, and then we're in Toronto. We're in Montreal in past years, but we're not going to go there this year, unfortunately. But Vancouver's our big show, January 23rd, I believe, this year, 23rd and 24th. I may be one day off on that, but
well, the viewers can always go to the Cambridge House website. And what is that?
Yeah.
CambridgeHouse.com, yeah. And you can find out where the nearest Cambridge House show is going to be to where you are. And I would urge you to go to the Vancouver show. That's probably the big show.
Yeah, we had 12,000 people at our January show last year, which is the second biggest investment conference in the country. I guess PDAC is the only bigger one.
That's right.
And we had about 600 companies. It was a hell of a show, and hopefully it'll be as good this year. I think it might just be. Yeah.
Well, the attendance here hasn't been as high as I'm sure one would expect, but it's been pretty good, and I've talked to a number of investors myself.
Oh, I think that, I don't know, I'm happy with the attendance because I saw the numbers. The numbers were good as far as I was concerned. Mm-hmm. It's my fear every time we come to these shows that no one's going to be here, and it seemed like they were full. The speaker halls were full, and there's conversations happening. The people who are here are real people. They're investors, they're curious, shareholders checking up with companies, and obviously the quality of the speakers has never been better, and people like you are here, so we got substance, you know.
Well, and it's an opportunity for investors to get to know the companies that you're investing in, maybe find some diamonds in the rough. Okay, you want to call them speculators? Yeah. I just prefer to call them investors, but they're not all necessarily speculators.
Like every one of us, we all have it in our blood. We want to gamble, and there's no better place to make significant, astounding returns than in this space. Obviously, the reverse can happen, but it's a phenomenal sector, and it's Canada's contribution to the world. The mineral exploration business, there are, in basically every exploration project in the world, mine development, mine exploration, there's Canadians on the ground.
Absolutely.
And that's what our chairman, Joe Martin, has instilled in all of us here, is to be proud of this sector. And, I just wish more people cared about it and came down and,
absolutely,
and backed what our Canadian boys are doing around the world, and girls.
Well, and that's it. And that's something for all the viewers to remind. I mean, if you can't grow it, you have to mine it. And, you go anywhere on the planet, and the projects are being either managed or in one way or another being run or at least worked upon.
Or promoted.
by Canadian companies.
Yeah, it's really something incredible that we do, and I think in the past we've had a bit of a bad reputation in this exploration sector, but any sector has the good and the bad, and these days, with compliance never been stronger, the management team's never been better, the technology's never been better.
That's right.
And it's a great time, obviously, because the share prices are depressed. I think it's a great time to come and start looking at some of these companies, companies that are well-financed and well-led, and the best way to come and find them is to come here, listen to the speakers, and then meet the management teams in person and see, who's who in the zoo, so to speak, and who's going to stick around in a tough market. It's a tough market right now, so the people who are here are the people who are sticking around, So
absolutely, and it's an opportunity to look management in the eye and make that determination as to whether that's where you want to put your money, whether you think you're going to get the best results. And oftentimes you want to be able to look someone in the eye.
All right, so we're going to switch the interview around now. Dave? Yesterday, I believe Justin Trudeau announced he was going to take a run at the leadership of the Liberal Party. What do you think about that?
Well, I told some friends of mine some years ago that if Mr. Trudeau ever threw his hat in the leadership ring, and he hasn't done it as yet, but I swore that I would be his John Diefenbaker, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold myself to that, but we shall see. Not to knock Mr. Trudeau necessarily, but
well, I don't know anything about the guy either, but he seems more suited for a fashion magazine advertorial than he does for leadership of the country. And I'd like to learn more about him. Hopefully, he does a good job of communicating.
Well, he's a hell of a fighter, I'll tell you that. I saw that fight with Senator Brazeau, and quite frankly, Mr. Trudeau had the upper hand pretty much throughout.
Mr. Trudeau stuff. He's not the Prime Minister yet. He probably will be.
He's still a man. He's still a man. Anyway, I've been talking to Tommy Humphreys.
Mr. Glover.
Mr. Tommy Humphreys, who is with the Toronto Investment Resource Conference. He's also with Cambridge House. You can check him out on the Cambridge House website. That website again?
Yeah, CambridgeHouse.com, and then the place where all the fun is YouTube.com/CambridgeHouseINTL, and that's where all my videos are and the interviews that we're doing and all the fun stuff. But thank you so much for having me.
And hopefully this interview will be up there too, kid. Thanks again, Tommy. Always a pleasure. This is InvestorToday.ca. We'll see you next time.